Today, we are going to talk about the 5 worst guns you could get in 2023. If you have not bought any of them, then thank God, and if you did buy one of them, tell us how it went for you in the comments. So, without further ado, here are the guns that are so awful that they are at best to be avoided, and at worst to be thrown in the trash. Number 5. Colt Python. Good news for all revolvers and especially for all Colt and even more specifically for all Python fans. After demanding it for so long, Colt finally heard the call and brought it back. Their Python, the wheel gun with a trigger like glass, and the ability to easily hit a target more than 100 yards away. It is an all-American classic and was even welded by John Wayne himself. Originally introduced in the 1950s, every part of it was hand-fitted, and it sported a high blue nickel finish. It was just beautiful. Now that it is back, or let's say something is back claiming to be the same, as labor costs would make it prohibitively expensive, other ways than hand-fitting had to be found. Those had consequences. So, what happened? What makes the new model so bad that it deserves to be on this list? To really understand the irony of it, we have to take a step back and make us clear what it is. It is a revolver. A revolver is called as such because of its revolving magazine, its cylinder. In other words, when you shoot, the cylinder is turning. It is revolving, and that is why it is a revolver. For the new Colt Python, it is not a revolver anymore, at least sometimes. That means that its cylinder, its magazine, does sometimes just not turn. It does not revolve anymore. In the end, Colt was forced to ask the owners to send their revolvers that do not revolve anymore back to the factory. The problem were the screws of the sight plate that screwed up the mechanism, so it does not revolve anymore. That also does kind of cut into the argument of 6 for sure when it comes to 6 guns. In that case, you might hit the trigger 6 times, but for sure, you get a best one shot of before you try to squeeze more out of the same round as the cylinder does not turn. Number 4. Springfield HELLCAT RDP. The HELLCAT RDP from Springfield is a pistol that is small, easy to conceal, and comes with a good capacity. It is also an all-American pistol, so what is there to want more apart from an all-American functioning gun? In truth, it is made in Croatia by HS Product, spelled with a K in product, not a C. It is just marketed by Springfield as an American firearm. When it comes to the RDP in HELLCAT RDP, you might be forgiven if you think it means red dot pistols. In fact, it stands for Rapid Defense Package, not a gun or a firearm or a pistol or something. No. It is a package. What makes it a rapid defense package? That it is a gun plus extras. The extras are a red dot, which makes sense, and a longer barrel, which makes less sense. I mean, you buy a Micro 9 because you want a small gun. Now your gun has a barrel with an extra inch. It is by default less micro, meaning less small and less light. That is a great idea, isn't it? Do not get me wrong, the extra inch of the barrel has a meaning. With it comes a compensator. Yeah, something you really do need in a micro-compact, adding not just a longer barrel and more weight, but even more weight and bulk. Hey, on a micro-compact CCW, that is exactly what each and all of us want. But that is not all. You get a super grip zone that nobody knows what it does, and a price tag higher than its competitors from SIG and Glock. And you have all the bad things together in a real package that nobody wants. Number 3. Smith & Wesson M&P 12. When you hear M&P and the word Smith & Wesson, you expect gun worth its money. But we are not talking about one of them but the M&P 12. It was a tactical shotgun with all the good looks and all the Picatinny rails you could wish for. Sporting also a vertical foregrip, you might think, what does such a thing have to do with the M&P standing for military and police? Maybe it was just a way to beg for a government contract to somehow get paid for this everything but a good gun. Everybody can make a mistake, so we can forgive Smith & Wesson for the M&P 12. It was just another of this tactic cool things that are so much the hype right now. So, now for real, what is the problem with it? It is simple. If you buy a Smith & Wesson, what you want is a Smith & Wesson. What you do not want is a Caltech KSG, disguised with a little bit more polymer, a vertical grip, and a new brand name. It is so well made that just weeks after it being available, Smith & Wesson had to issue a recall and beg the owners of them to stop using them. What happened? The barrel of this gun tended to crack. So, if you own one, really better stop shooting it for your own safety. Number 2. TAURUS G3C. The TAURUS G3C is a neat package. It looks good, it is not too big, and it loses parts when shooting. That brings fun on every range. TAURUS again lives up to its reputation. It put another well-misdesigned gun on the market that we all can hate and make fun of, and so we do. However, we should not forget that TAURUS does come with an important advantage. It has an almost unmatched price. For that, you get real plastic sights. That is no problem, as good sights are overrated, right? Coming with as many reliability issues as a TAURUS does, you will get used to sending guns to the manufacturer, to talking to the UPS guy, as well as the email exchange with someone at TAURUS that might follow. In other words, that is the gun for you if you are looking to make new friends and if you are not too much into reliability. Number 1. HKSL8. HK is a real name here, and many American shooters are big fans of what they see from that company. However, what you see you often cannot buy, as HK is just not that available on the civilian market. Then the time came, the announcements were made, and it was time to hope. The American shooters would be able to lay their hands on some fine German-made HK products that are well-engineered, well-known, renowned, worshipped, and just wanted by all. So what is the problem with the SL8? Just look at it. Where you were waiting for something with style, you get this abomination. It looks bad, and it makes you ask, why? Why can we just not get a G36 that it looks like a G36, feels like a G36, and shoots like a G36? What we do not want is a G36 that looks like an SL8. Other than its look, there is nothing wrong with the SL8, just that nobody wants something looking like that. Why not just send a G36 and MP7 and similar pearls of good firepower? Get us the full lineup, not the SL8 up, especially the MP7 that is adored in our great republic. Do not just keep it for the military and law enforcement and make it available for the common shooter. The question is, who buys an SL8? Maybe someone who just gave up hope, or someone who thinks if we buy enough of the ugly ones, HK might be persuaded to send us some goodies. Let's all hope that these buys are not in vain, and one day HK will bring us everything we are waiting for so badly and so long. If you have stayed away from any of these guns, congratulate yourself. You have saved a lot of money. If you did buy one of them, you can be happy, as you bought a real lemon at a time when market prices were at an all-time high, so that you will never recover the money you sank into it. Apart from that, let us know about your experience with your lemon in the hope that others do not follow your tracks.